Welcome to Kenya in Focus, the podcast where we explore the legal, human rights, and societal developments shaping our nation. Today we're looking at the week of September 1st to 6th, 2025, a week that saw both progress and profound challenges. Whether you're a legal professional, a human rights advocate, or simply a concerned citizen, this episode is for you. Let's begin.
This week, Kenya's High Court made a historic move by proposing the Transgender Protection Rights Act. This follows a landmark case where a transgender woman was subjected to degrading treatment in detention. The court's decision is a significant step toward recognizing and protecting the rights of transgender individuals, but the real test will be in its implementation. Will the government act swiftly to align our laws with this progressive ruling?
On another note, the judiciary continues to face political pressure. President Ruto's public criticism of judges over rulings that blocked the deployment of Kenyan police to Haiti has raised concerns about judicial independence. The rule of law must be upheld, even when decisions are unpopular. Meanwhile, the Kenya Information and Communications Amendment Bill 2025 is sparking debate. Critics argue it could enable mass surveillance and threaten free speech. Civil society groups are calling for greater transparency and public consultation. Will their voices be heard?
And speaking of legal matters, the Kenya School of Law recently issued a 60-day ultimatum for graduates seeking admission to the Advocates Training Program. This is a reminder of the rigorous standards required to join the legal profession, but it also highlights the need for accessible legal education for all aspiring advocates.
The past week has been a stark reminder of the human rights challenges we face. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights reported at least 60 protest-related deaths and 66 abductions since the finance bill protests began. These numbers are not just statistics. They represent lives lost and families shattered. The lack of accountability for these violations is deeply troubling. When will those responsible be held to account?
Violence against women remains a persistent crisis. Reports indicate that 13 women and girls are murdered weekly, and femicide cases continue to rise. The discovery of 17 bodies in a Nairobi dump site earlier this year is still fresh in our minds, yet no arrests have been made. This impunity must end.
Forced evictions in Nairobi's informal settlements have also made headlines. Over 6,000 families were left homeless after their homes were demolished without adequate notice or relocation plans. While the government cites illegal settlements, human rights groups argue that these evictions violate the right to housing. Where is the balance between urban planning and human dignity?
Kenya's economy is projected to grow, but 34% of the population still lives in poverty. The IMF-backed Finance Bill 2024 has only added to the burden, with taxes on essential goods pushing many to the brink. The protests we've seen are not just about economics, they're about justice, equity, and the right to a dignified life. Young Kenyans in particular are leading the charge, demanding a government that listens and responds to their needs.
On the digital front, Kenya's push for a digital ID system is raising serious privacy concerns. While the government claims it will streamline services, critics warn it could be used for surveillance and profiling. In a country where digital innovation is thriving, how do we ensure that technology serves the people, not the other way around?
Kenya's human rights record is set to be reviewed by the UN Human Rights Council this month. This is a critical moment for our nation to demonstrate its commitment to justice and accountability. The world is watching. Will Kenya rise to the occasion or face further criticism for its failures?
As we reflect on this week's developments, it's clear that Kenya stands at a crossroads. We've seen progress in the courts, but also deepening challenges in human rights and societal equity. The question now is, what will we do about it? Will we demand accountability from our leaders? Will we stand up for the rights of the marginalized? Will we ensure that our laws and policies reflect the values of justice and equality?
These are not just questions for policymakers, they are questions for all of us. As citizens, we have a role to play in shaping the future of this nation.
Let's stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay hopeful. Change is possible, but it starts with us.
Thank you for joining us on Kenya in Focus. If you found this episode insightful, please share it with others. Until next time, let's keep the conversation going.